What's the doTERRA versus Young Living essential oil business training all about? Well, I'm going to cover that in today's video, so stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Hey, this is Lance McGowan with Essential Oils Me, and if you're interested in earning your oils for free, earning part-time or full-time income with an essential oil business, then this is going to be the video for you. Make sure to watch this video all the way until the end because there's so many tidbits and nuggets and gold goodies and just amazing information. So you definitely want to do it because it's going to get you in the right mindset to do all those things and do it in such a way that helps you help a lot of people. And so that's going to be the key, and I'm going to cover all that in the next section.
Did you know a record 20.5 million people were involved in direct selling in the United States in 2016, which is a 1.5% increase from the previous year? And this just goes to show that folks being involved in network marketing or MLMs or multi-level marketing is definitely making up a larger number, and every year it's growing. The problem, though, is that 52.3% of Americans are unhappy at work, according to a new report by the Conference Board, which is a New York-based nonprofit research group. And this is only part one of the problem. Part two of the problem is that individuals born in the later years of the baby boom, so 1957 to 1964, have held an average of 11.9 jobs from the age of 18 to age 50, and nearly half of these jobs were held from the ages 18 to 24. So there's a lot of turnover when folks were younger, but even as we age, there's a lot of job switching, so this is another part of the problem. The third part of the problem is that people are holding a job for an average of 1.5 years, and the main reasons why people quit a job are no respect, no vision, no future, no equality, no morale, and no challenge or autonomy. And so our relationship with our boss even can be a factor. And then on top of that, when you include, what the job duties entail after you're hired, was that different from what you're interviewed as? And then what type of support do you get when you actually enter the job? Do you feel like you're thrown to the wolves, or do you feel like you have a good support system? So these are all things that are playing a factor in these three main problems here. But what's the solution? Well, a part-time or full-time essential oil business can allow you to diversify your income, earn as you learn, set your own hours, and work from home or anywhere in the world. And so it allows you a lot of freedom. A lot of times we think about freedom in the sense of like being set free from debt. Yes, those are awesome things that allow people to really live the life they want. But when it comes to financial freedom, and even I would say family freedom, it's so important to keep this in mind as well and be able to set your own hours and just do what you want when you want and help a lot of people along the way. So this is a very great solution for folks wanting to do a home-based business. How it all works, so in a nutshell, step one would be choosing a company, and I call it the KLT, or the know, like, and trust factor, and so that's what that stands for. And so doing research on that is going to be very important. Step two is choose a person, and so on top of know, like, and trusting that person, I added RT, which is response time. So best in class is within 24 hours of them responding back to you via text, email, or phone call, and then within 48 hours is expected. Anything later than that is probably not a good sign unless they're like on vacation or doing something crazy, like, I don't know, out of the country, or, so, just having expectations checked at the door, but also recognizing there's best in class or world-class excellent customer service response time. And I think that is oftentimes missing in people's assessment of who they go with. Step three is also choose an essential oil kit. And you also want to choose one that you know, like, and trust. So in order to know, like, and trust a kit, you kind of have to know what your options are and which one's going to best fit your needs or the needs of your family, and ultimately help you be a great product of the product so you can share more easily and naturally when you hear stuff pop up, and that's going to be key. Step four is schedule a wellness consult. So this is going to be key to understanding how to use your essential oil kit and maximize your membership benefits, and it sets you up for step five, which is join the LRP with products, and this is specific for the company I'm with, and this allows you to buy in the smartest way possible, because you can save up to 55% off, get free product of the month, get your shipping reimbursed, and it's really awesome. And then step 6 is schedule biz trainings with your enroller. So your enroller is kind of like your mentor, somebody who kind of helped you into the business and is going to help you learn how to be successful. Sponsor is more for placement, so it's kind of where you're at in the organization. Sometimes enroller and sponsor are the same, and sometimes they're different. It just kind of depends. But the point is your enroller is kind of like your mentor, and that is going to be so important to keep in mind, because as we looked at step number 2, choosing somebody you know, like, and trust, and somebody who has good response time is going to be key. Jordan Belfort's 3 10s. So the person, product, and company need to be a 10, 10, and 10 in your mind in order to pass the action threshold and make a purchasing decision. This means that you need to know, like, and trust each of those to the point that you feel comfortable in moving forward. But this is just super important, okay? Like, if I were to say, like, this is critical, and for some people it's not a 10, 10, and 10, it may be like an 8, a 7, and a 5, who knows? But the point is there is a point at which in your mind, whether you feel it or you see it, or you can quantify it, that you feel comfortable in moving forward. And that's especially helpful in the previous slide that I showed with regards to the person, product, and company. When it comes to doTERRA versus Young Living, well, if you're new to either company, then there's a couple routes you could do. So you could become a Young Living distributor, which is focused on the business opportunity, or you could become a doTERRA Wellness Advocate, who is focused on the business opportunity, part-time or full-time as well. And then 100-point value, which is roughly $100. It's usually dollar for point in most cases. But yeah, that is going to allow you to be eligible for income. And the other thing you want to keep in mind, and it's not just a one-time 100-point order for the month, it's also maintaining that throughout the month, because as you enroll new people, you want to make sure you're going to get paid for that each week. So that's going to be key to not make sure it drops below 100. And if you're becoming a product of the product and you're using the supplements and the oils and you're educating yourself on all that, and you're maybe helping your family or helping your spouse or your husband or whoever it is, then it's going to be easy to hit that 100 mark. In fact, it'd be hard to keep it under, for me personally, under 150, sometimes under 200. So it's really important. The other route that you could go is become a customer. So there's the Young Living distributor, as it's defined as a customer, so they're not doing the business opportunity or not enrolling people. And then there's a doTERRA wholesale customer, and so that's just somebody who's interested in using the products and helping themselves or helping their family, and that's perfectly fine too. So most people in doTERRA are just wholesale customers, and that's perfectly fine. And there's a smaller percent of people that do the business part-time or full-time, and that's what makes up the Wellness Advocate category. And in any network marketing company, you want to see that most people are customers, because that shows that the products are adding a lot of value, and that there's not a lot of smoke and mirrors, or the snake oil type of thing. So that's going to be really key. All right, so here's one enrollment example. So if you're new to doTERRA or Young Living, or you're just new to essential oils, you're just new. Or if you're a doTERRA wholesale customer and you're with Team A, then you can become a doTERRA Wellness Advocate by upgrading your account or by enrolling as a doTERRA Wellness Advocate. And this is going to be with Team A as well. And you can read doTERRA or even Young Living policy for details on how this all works. But the point I'm trying to make here is, if you're new to doTERRA, or if you're doTERRA wholesale customer within the same team, then going within your same team and upgrading to a Wellness Advocate or enrolling as a Wellness Advocate are your main options. When it comes to what is against company policy, well, if you're a doTERRA wholesale customer or a doTERRA Wellness Advocate and you're with, let's say, Team B, then going to Team A within the same company is not allowed. That's called cross-line recruiting, or cross-recruiting, and that's not accepted by company policy. What you want to do is work with your enroller and upline, and there's ways to see that in your back office. You can actually get everyone's phone number, everyone's email, and this is also why it's so important to focus on the previous slide that I mentioned, which is the know, like, and trust factor and the response time. So you really want to make sure you choose somebody really well on the front end, so that you don't have to even be tempted to even have to think about any of this part, and so you don't want to get in trouble in this area. So this is something to keep in mind. And the same rules apply for Young Living, right? So if you're a Young Living customer or distributor with Team D and you want to go to Team C because you feel like they add more value or they're going to give you better education or personalized support, going to a different team as a wholesale from a wholesale customer or business standpoint, and then trying to become a business builder there is not good. So no solicitation, no implications of that at all. You just want to avoid that altogether to stay out of hot water and to make sure that you abide by company policy and stay compliant. So the next part is that you want to start with your why and have a vision board. So write down your why for wanting to start a part-time or full-time essential oil business. This will help you through the health, relationship, and or financial storms when they arise, so you don't give up. And the reality is that most people give up, and that's unfortunate, but that's just how things work. And they give up either on their health, their relationships, their finances, or the essential oil business. And it's the people who stick with it and have good follow-up and just don't give up, and they're just and a lot has to do with their why. It has to be something more than the money, because when the money isn't there, if money is your only reason, then it'll be hard to stick to something like that. It has to be something that somebody can't take away from you. And I know my why is like my family history and what my mom and dad went through, and then my own health priorities and how I was able to overcome those. And so those are things that nobody can take away, and they're very traumatic at the time. And so for me, being able to help people not have to go through those things and become a negative statistic is really important to me, and also help people with their quality of life. And so that is going to be really important. So the next thing you want to keep in mind is Eric Worre's 3 clarifying questions. So number 1, when you're thinking about a part-time or full-time essential oil business, how much do you want to earn each month? This is kind of important to think about. What's going to cover your expenses? Would you like to have something in savings, or even something you can contribute to retirement, or maybe a kid's college fund or kid's school, stuff like that. Number 2 is how many hours can you commit each week to growing your essential oil business? Is this 1 to 5 hours? Is this 5 to 10 hours? Is this 10 to 20 hours? Is it 20 to 30, 30 to 40? What are you willing to do each and every week to help grow your business? And notice it says, can you commit each week? Not if you're interested, because interest is based off of convenience. Commitment is based off of not making excuses and focusing on results. And so there is a clear distinction between being interested and being committed to this. So just wanted to make sure that was clear, because sometimes people get that mixed up. All right, number 3 is how many months will you work those hours to realize your income goals? So this goes back to the previous slide. Are you going to give up after 1 month because your why wasn't that strong? Or are you going to have a strong why and stick to it and say, hey, I'm going to give this as long as it takes? You know what I'm saying? Like, I am going to develop the skills, I'm going to get the right mindset, I'm going to talk to as many people as possible, make sure it's natural, I'm not forcing anything, I'm not trying to hard sell, just educate, teach, and share, and that's going to be key. But how many months are you going to dedicate to that? And how many months are you really going to put in? And that's going to be really important to keep in mind. Now, here's the other concept: early retirement and leaving a legacy. Are you willing to commit to working an essential oil business for 3 to 5 years, part-time, and eventually full-time, so you can set up the next 30 to 50 years of your life with a residual income business that makes money while you sleep and leaves a legacy to your children? How awesome does that sound? Notice it doesn't say you're going to get rich overnight, because that's definitely not it. It's about putting in that time, putting in that work, and knowing that there are people who grow really quickly within a year. There's people who take more than 5 years. But the point is the people who stick with it 3 to 5 plus years and say, I'm going to give it as much time as it takes to really grow this business. And this is really not different than any other business out there. Like, if you look at startups, franchises, mom and pops, shops, it takes 3 to 5 years to break even. But they have overhead and employee costs and all these like permits and licenses they got to do. So the fact that you can work from home and really have minimal costs is really to your advantage. And the fact that everything's pretty much outsourced, like the whole distribution, warehouse, manufacturing of products, like really you can all you have to focus on is building relationships and helping people and just knowing how to enroll somebody and support them. Okay, so it's more than one thing, but that comes with time. All right, so prospecting properly is going to be key, because if you've ever been approached by somebody trying to hard sell you, then you already know how this feels. But number 1, you want to focus on teaching and sharing, and that's what my company focuses on. So this is not recruiting and selling. Teaching and sharing is more of an authentic network marketing company. Recruiting and selling is more of a traditional network marketing company, and traditional network marketing companies make up the vast majority of MLMs or network marketing companies out there. So if you focus on teaching and sharing, and listening for the needs and really just working with people. That's going to be key. The next one is all in line with that, but it's move towards people that move towards you. And I love the saying. It's the SW, 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 or SW cubed, whatever you want to call it. But it stands for some will, some won't, so what, someone's waiting. And if you've been a part of a network marketing or MLM company before, you've probably heard that. If not, if it's your first time, it's very important to keep in mind. And it means that some will, become a customer or a wellness advocate within your organization. Some won't. They may reject or ignore you or even make fun of you. But so what? Someone's waiting out there for what you have to offer, and that's going to be key, which is why having a strong why is going to be very critical, because people can see through that. They can see through the BS. They can see if you're not really serious about something. And the only way to really get serious about it is become a strong product of the product, become a super user, as I'll talk about shortly as well. All right, so the next part of prospecting is talk to the next person. This is going to solve almost all essential oil business problems. When you're like, oh, I'm stagnant and I'm not growing, or oh, what's going on? Talk to the next person. When you talk to somebody and they don't call you back, talk to the next person. When you reach out to somebody and they get back to you and they say they're interested and you try to close and everything's good and they don't follow through, talk to the next person. Now, this doesn't mean you give up on the person you're working with. It just means that you have a lot of boats in the water, a lot of irons in the fire, and you're just slowly helping each one of those along in the process and not relying on any one person to make your business. And no one person is going to make or break my business, and I do that because it's important to just build relationships with a lot of people and help them when they're ready. And so the talk to the next person is going to be key. But if you keep all three of these things in mind, you'll actually have a really good mindset, and that sets you up for success. Why most distributors fail? Why is this? Well, 94% of all salespeople quit following up with prospects after the fourth call, but 60% of all sales are made after the fourth call. What this means is that most people don't follow up. Okay, so the problem, you probably heard a couple problems so far besides the ones that I mentioned in the very beginning, but the first problem is people quit too easy, and then number two, people stop following up after they've already followed up maybe 4 times. And so there's a lot of sales that are to be had, and a lot of enrollments and wholesale customers and wellness advocates or distributors that could be a part of your organization if you just didn't give up. Now, this doesn't mean you badger people and do all that. I think people will come around when they're ready, but if you stick around, eventually everyone comes around, and that's important to keep in mind. And if you're focusing on those prospecting properly principles of teaching and sharing and other things, you won't have to worry about any of that. But again, follow-up is a skill, and following up in a timely manner is also a skill. And that's not just to new people, that's to customers that are existing in your organization. That's also other business builders. So follow-up is key, and that's, I would say, people quitting too easily and not following up, those are like 2 big mistakes that people make, and I just try to make sure I'm not a part of that. All right. People who grow the fastest, because there's a lot of people out there that grow fast, and you're like, ooh, try to fight, comparing yourself to them, but at the same time realize kind of how it works in a nutshell. So people who grow the fastest typically are bloggers, which mean they have a large email list. They are small business owners, which means they probably have a large customer list, especially the longer they've been in business. Number 3 is networkers. So they have a large friend list, maybe Facebook friends or social media, other things like that. But here's a bonus. Previous network marketing or MLM experience in a health and wellness company is valuable but not required. So you don't have to be a part of a network marketing company to be successful in a network marketing or MLM company, but it is helpful so you understand the value of prospecting, you understand the value of building a list, you understand the value of, teaching and sharing and enrolling and closing and providing excellent customer service and following up. So these are all going to be really, really important as you're doing these things. And so, but you may be saying, well, what if I'm not a blogger or a big blogger who has a large email list? What if I'm not a small business owner that has a large customer list? What if I'm not a networker who has a large friend list? What do I do? Well, for everyone else, if you're new to doTERRA or new to Young Living or new to essential oils in general, but you're interested in the part-time or full-time business opportunity, then there's a couple ways that you can grow if you didn't fall into those previous 3 categories. There's organic, and then there's paid. And so the main thing you want to do is listen for needs and offer solutions to more people than anyone else. That's what's going to guarantee your success. And so it is a numbers game to a degree, but obviously you don't want to treat people like a number, right? They're people, they have feelings. You want to show that you care, and that it's all about building relationships. And when I say organic, I mean it's building a blog, if you're doing something online, or doing YouTube videos, or doing Facebook videos, or doing Instagram videos, or Snapchat, or there's lots of ways you can do organic online, or even locally would be networking in groups or associations, or talking to your dentists or other people that you have relationships with, but not in a forceful or hard selling way, but just in a natural way when you hear needs come up. The other way is through paid things. So there's a lot of advertising you can do, there's vendor booths, there's online ads, there's like a lot of ads that you can do offline. I mean, these are kind of strategies that I provide to my team more specifically, but you kind of get the idea. You can do things that are organic and just cost you time, or you can do things that are paid and cost you money, and still cost you time to a degree as well. But those are a couple main ways, and the main way that all this works, whether you're a blogger, networker, small business owner, or if you're neither and you're just fall into this category, is you need a lead generation system. And so you need a way for new people to come in contact with you, and for you to figure out and pre-qualify if they're a good person to continue with the process of helping them. And so that's going to be very key, because they may already be enrolled in an essential oil company, or they may not be interested at all, but they may have a need. But there's a lot of situations that can come up. But the point of all this is saying you need a lead generation system, whether it's online or offline, whether it's organic or paid, whether it's from an existing network that you have or a new one. A lead generation system is key. Business builder progressions to keep in mind, because it's about a growth process, right? You want to grow. Step one is become a daily user, and this is especially true of the Lifelong Vitality Pack that I use. And so that was one of my goals, is I want more energy, I want more vitality, I want to support my body, I want to fill in the gaps that my food is not giving me, and I want to be a great product to the product. And so that's what I started doing. I saw increases in my energy within the first week, and it's really great. I love this product, and it's actually the best-selling product within doTERRA as well. Step two is upgrade to a super user. And when I say upgrade, you're really just upgrading in your behavior and your habits, but you become a product of more products, right? So you want to develop a testimony and a story of how these oils and products and supplements have helped you. Or if you don't have those, you can use the stories of mentors that you have, or customers, or other folks, and really help people along in that way. Step three is support your wholesale customers and wellness advocates or distributors with excellent customer service. And so that is response time. So if they're in your organization as a wholesale customer or wellness advocate, then they knew, liked, and trust you enough to become one of those things. So now it's all about customer service, and that's all about response time. It's about giving people facts, helping them resolve their issues and problems, and whether that's returns or breakages, or just helping them support. It just kind of depends who they are. If they're a wholesale customer, then they'll probably need support in how to use the products, the benefits of it, how to order, how to get on LRP, stuff like that. And then if they're a wellness advocate, then they're probably past all that, or they may still have some issues with that. It just kind of depends. But it's about supporting them what they need help in, and that would probably be sharing the oils with others, helping them earn their oils for free, earn part-time income, and then full-time income. So it's helping them in all that area. So when to share the business opportunity? This is critical, because like I said, I've been hard sold a couple times to the point where I was almost sweating. This is when I was just really uncomfortable. I didn't know how to handle being hard sold, and that happened with a couple other women that I met with, and it happens, right? And you just have to know how to handle it. All right, but here's what to keep in mind if you are a hard seller or you're wanting to share the business opportunity constantly because you're following a traditional network marketing company or a traditional MLM company, or you've been approached by one. Really, Eric Worre says that you should only share the business opportunity with somebody that when you know the other person really well, right? You have to really know them. Remember that know, like, and trust factor? That K part, that know part, has to be really there. Number two is they're looking for something better. So you could know the person really well. They could be a family member, coworker. They could be somebody that as a friend. But if they're not looking for something better, then there's no need to try to stick a square peg through a circle hole. Like, are you doing this to help yourself? Or are you doing this to help them? Like, how is sharing a business opportunity to them, if they're not even looking for that, going to help them? It's not. They probably need help with their health priorities and having more energy, or supporting their digestion, or getting a better night's rest, or reducing stress, or I mean, I could keep going on, or balancing their hormones, or da 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 da. Like, they probably need help with that first, and then, but some people are like, hey, I want to do the whole health thing and maybe help my family, but I'm kind of interested in the business thing. Let's talk, right? And so, or some people are like, I know I'm going to do the business opportunity, let's go, right? But that's only after talking with them and you figure that out. And you're probably like, well, Lance, aren't you sharing the business opportunity to me? Like, isn't that contradictory? Are you? I kind of rhymed right there. That was interesting. All right. Anyways, yes. I mean, but if you made it this far, then obviously you can relate, or you're interested in some regard. I would say the next step is having some type of commitment that turns out of that as well, right? So I have next steps at the very end of this, so you can kind of see all that. But I love this quote by Eric Worre, and he says, "Network marketing isn't perfect; it's just better." And that's something to keep in mind, because there's a lot of network marketing haters and MLM haters. And if you watch some of my other videos and read the comment section, like, you'd be like, "Dang, Lance, you got a lot of haters." I'm like, yeah, but I thank them for the view, because they're still watching it. And I think what they don't have is perspective, and they don't realize that network marketing is just practice to become an entrepreneur. Like, network marketing is like entrepreneurship training. Like, it's helping you understand how sales work, and inventory, and reaching out to people, and prospecting, and fortunately you don't have to have a manufacturing facility or a warehouse or anything like that. So that's all outsourced. So you really just, again, focus on relationship building, and really just offering solutions when people are ready. I mean, not to oversimplify it, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of what's going on. But love Eric Worre. This quote's really good. And like he acknowledges, it's not perfect, it's just better. And I would say better than traditional work, traditional employment, because there's a lot of aspects of network marketing that are amazing. The things that we mentioned earlier: setting your own hours, working from home, being able to earn as you learn. If you're going to college, like I went to college at Ohio State, like it was just, I mean, fortunately I had tuition covered because I had scholarships and stuff, but had I not, I'm paying as I'm learning. There ain't no earn as you learn. It's just pay as you learn. So I mean, that creates more debt, and that's why we have so much college debt as a United States. But anyways, that's beyond the scope of this discussion. We're gonna keep moving on. All right. So what are I get a lot of questions asked. And these are some of the frequently asked questions I get, or facts. Keep it fact based. All right, so number one is, how long have you used essential oils? Well, I started using essential oils in 2013, around November time. I actually moved around a bit. I born and raised in Columbus, Ohio, went to Ohio State, worked for PepsiCo for about 7 years, but I was moving around. I lived in Dallas, Texas. I lived in Lynchburg, Virginia. And when I moved to Vegas, I was introduced to a green smoothie class and then an essential oil class, because I was looking for some healthier people. I actually went on Meetup. But yeah, I found that, got connected with some awesome moms and women, and they just helped me in my wellness journey. So November 2013 is when it all turned around. And before that, I only was familiar with like extra virgin olive oil and coconut oil. So very limited exposure. All right, number two, how long have you been in doTERRA? Well, I've been in Terra, it was about the same time. So I think I might have went to, like, I can't even remember, it's been a while, but I think I might have went to 1 or 2 classes. I enrolled with a family essentials kit, and then I just became a user really for the first year. And I wasn't really interested in the business opportunity because I had full-time employment, but I knew that I wanted something better for my life, and had that person kind of had that knowledge of like, okay, they were getting to know me, and they knew I wanted something better. I feel like I needed more education and training, and had a Lance McGowan in my life talk to me when I was in that process, coming with this type of presentation. I would have been like, yeah, this is cool, it makes sense, it's clear, yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, so since November 2013, to answer that one, why doTERRA? Well, I never went to a Young Living meeting, but I chose doTERRA because that was what was presented at the green smoothie class that I went to, and I was just open to learning. And I don't know what would have happened if it was a different network marketing company or even Young Living. I know I would have still, even though I didn't understand the concept for like fully of the know, like, and trust factor and the response time thing, I think that I still would have gravitated towards somebody that wasn't hard selling me and felt like they actually cared about my needs. So those are, I think, for me, instinctually what I would have gravitated towards. And that is, I felt like they cared about me and were interested in getting to know me and providing a solution. And so I had a lot of opportunities with my health that I needed help with, and so they were able to do that. What essential oil kit should I get? Well, that's going to depend. That's going to depend on, what your health priorities are, what your budget is, and what your timing is. So some people are ready to get started today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. Some people take a little while to come around. But I think all that depends. Writing down what your health priorities are, what your health goals are, and definitely connecting with regards to you're connecting with me, right? I mean, I'll show you how you can do that at the end of this video, but you can also watch some of my other videos on the kits that I have, or go to my website, which will be in the description as well. So you can, check out a lot of different options, so you can kind of pre-learn before you, make a purchasing decision. Because I don't pressure anybody. I'm just like, I'd rather just educate you and then just try to match up a solution with whatever you're going through and go from there. All right, number 5, can I do the business later? Absolutely. Most people just are wholesale customers, and that's fine. And so they just start off as a wholesale customer, and you can just upgrade your account for free by putting in your social security number to a wellness advocate whenever you're ready to start doing the business. And you can start off, the progression is earn your oils for free, then do it part-time, then full-time. And so those progressions occur as you start to see more results and start to share more and become a product of the product more and a super user and all that fun stuff. But yeah, absolutely, it's never too late, and that is going to get you started off right. All right, number 6, what if I have more questions? Well, you can email me, that's for sure, or you can leave a comment in the section below. That would be probably a couple easy ways to do that, because this frequently asked questions page here is not comprehensive. But yeah, if you have questions, feel free to reach out. Why does it matter? Why does it matter, Lance? Well, in the beginning, you're going to be doing a lot of things that you don't get paid for, so that in the end, you'll be getting paid for a lot of things that you're not doing, i.e. residual income, especially as it relates to the essential oil business when you're doing it part-time or full-time. And this is really key as well. If you stick around, eventually everyone comes around. I actually have a woman in my organization who was a wholesale customer, and she didn't really want to do the business side, but she kind of did. And then about a year or two later, she was like, man, everyone around me is like becoming a wholesale customer, or people that I talk to now are wellness advocates, and it's like, man, if I would have been doing the business side, they would be in my organization, but instead they're in somebody else's organization. So it's like, well, that's what happens when you procrastinate. And you don't have a strong why, and you don't really think about the business. Like, if you're going to do the business, like, you got to get trained up. You got to know that, like, and trust that person you're working with, and make sure they have good response time. And you want to make sure you choose that on the front end. If you've already done all that, then you got to make sure you get that training in and build up your skills, and really build up a strong why, so that you don't give up, and that you follow up as well. So that's also going to be key. But yeah, not to beat her up over the head, or anybody else who feels that way, but I'm just giving the reality and the facts that, if you stick around, eventually everyone comes around. People are going to, gravitate towards you or not, depending on how much you actually put yourself out there, and how much you're talking to people. Not in a forced way, not in a hard selling way. Keep that in mind. Just try to make sure we're clear on that. All right. Okay. So here's a summary. And that's a part-time or full-time essential oil business can allow you to diversify your income, earn as you learn, set your own hours, and work from home or anywhere in the world. And before you choose a company or person, or even a product for that matter, like an essential oil kit, you want to follow these next steps. Alright, so when it comes to next steps, these are the must-haves that I recommend. Number 1 is watch my doTERRA versus Young Living videos. And this will build your Jordan Belfort 310s with the product, the person, and the company. And I I have clients who have switched to Young Living. I have clients that have switched from Young Living to doTERRA. So there's everyone in between. And there's people who are still on the fence looking in like, what the heck's going on? And there's some people like, I ain't never joining doTERRA or Young Living or anything like that. So it's cool. I mean, do what you want to do. But watching these videos will at least give you some more perspective and give you some more fact-based information. So I have kind of a few different camps of videos. I got the lawsuit, I got the doTERRA versus Young Living video comparisons, and then I have just kind of Young Living on its own. So, and then obviously a lot of doTERRA videos too. So there's probably 4 different camps of videos you can watch. But if you check out my playlists, you'll get all that. So all right. Number 2 is study the opportunity and earnings disclosure statement to align expectations with reality. What does that mean? Basically, that's the document that doTERRA and Young Living has with regards to how much their distributors make and how many people are making that. So you can be like, all right, if I want to be top 1% of the company, I would have to make this amount, and these are how many people that are doing it, and here's how many people are in the total organization, and here's da 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 da. Like, it's really detailed, and that will align your expectations to reality and say that, like, hey, if I want to do this, you want to start with the goal or the end in mind and work backwards and say, hey, if I want to make this amount of money per month and hit this rank, I need to know how many other people are doing that, which is nice to know, and then what I need to do to get there. And that's where you would work with your enroller or your mentor. Number 3 is create a 30-day non-negotiable goal. And that is basically saying, for the next 30 days, I'm going to do this. I'm going to schedule this many classes, or I'm going to talk to this many people, or I'm going to do this many presentations online, or with people that I know. Probably you want to work that warm market first. But number 4, as a part of that, is create a names list. I put the goal at 250 people. And that's everyone from your dentist, your doctor, your neighbors, your family, your friends, your coworkers. And some people are like, well, I don't want to talk to all those people and everybody. Well, if you don't, somebody else is. So if you don't, somebody in doTERRA or Young Living or some other network marketing company is going to snatch them up. So if you don't, somebody else will. And yeah, there's going to be people who ignore you, reject you, hate on you, criticize you. And remember that some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. All that's going to be playing in. But the larger your list is, that's why I put the goal at 250 instead of 100. That means you kind of are playing that numbers game and saying, all right, there's going to be people who ain't about that oil life as a wholesale customer or business builder. All right, that's cool. Well, what about the people that are? So who knows? There could be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people out of that 250 that are ready to become a customer. They just need a little bit of nurturing and things like that. So you never know. You never know until you ask. You don't ask, you don't get. And that's pretty much it. Hey, I'm rhyming all the time. All right, here we go. Number 5 is schedule essential oil presentations. I recommend 1 per week. 1 per month is going to be a slower growth, but I do a lot of online education and I do local. So I teach about once a month locally here in Las Vegas, and then I do basically essential oil education pretty much daily if you include all my past videos. But yeah, I try to release videos daily, and they're not always on essential oils, but they are predominantly on just natural solutions education. So that's kind of the whole realm. So you kind of get more of a whole overall view of what you can and can't do. All right, some other next steps or nice to haves are watch Rise of the Entrepreneur. This is an amazing documentary by Worre that I highly recommend you watch. You can actually just Google that, Rise of the Entrepreneur. Oh, I have a link in the description and you can check that out. It's free, so why not? And it builds your why, and it helps you learn about traditional employment and network marketing and entrepreneurship. I believe everyone should watch it. If you're an employee, executive, or entrepreneur, everyone needs to watch that documentary. It just gives you so much perspective, and it's so clear, and oh, it's amazing. I love it. Number 2 is order the Go Pro book. This also builds your why, and you can actually get that for free. I'll have a link in the description below as well. This book is, it's by Worre again, and he's just such an amazing teacher. Keeps it real, lets you know that network marketing ain't perfect, right? It's just better. And I love that aspect. Gets you in the right mindset. I think a lot of people have these expectations that are just like, get rich quick schemish, or they're just like, I'm gonna give you the mansion and the Ferrari and like, I'm like, no, just keep it real, okay? I don't need you to promise me the moon and the stars. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it real and help me. So we gonna do this, but that's assuming that I know, like, and trust you, right? But that's just kind of how I think anyway. All right, number 3 is become a Dr. Axe Essential Oil Coach. You're looking to get your skills up. If you're looking to get more education and get more of the business side under your belt, this is a great option to kind of give you that education. Dr. Axe has got the #1 health and wellness website in the world. He is a great resource to kind of get that education and to supplement your enroller. And then you can attend an essential oil annual convention. Now, this is the creme de la creme. Now, this is only for people that are serious, okay? If you're like, hey, I'm going to build me an essential oil business, part-time or full-time, and I don't care how long it takes, and I'm going to work with somebody I know, like, and trust and provides, great response time, you do all that, and you build your why, and I got my vision board, Lance, or I'm working on it, or, I know what I need to do. I'm making a list and checking it twice, right? If you're doing all that, then attend the annual convention. That's all I got to say. It is an amazing experience. I go to doTERRA's every year, and it's awesome. And I've been there 4 years in a row right now. It's great. More people recognize me too because I do YouTube videos, but it's fun. I love all of the oilers there and everyone in general, and love the stories and the new products, and it's great. It's great to be around people who you don't have to educate the benefits of the oils. Everyone's just like they're sold. They're bought in. It's cool. It's nice. It's like a family, basically. It's like an oil family. All right, here we go. Getting all sentimental. All right, next steps are to send me an email today. essentialoilsme@gmail is one of the best ways to reach me, or you can just leave a comment below and we can kind of get that conversation started. And if you're new to doTERRA, that is going to be the best route for you.
As you can see, building an essential oil business is a lot of work, but it's very rewarding when you do it the right way. And that involves teaching and sharing, moving towards people that move towards you, and talking to the next person whenever you experience somebody who may be rejecting or ignoring you, or maybe if you're not getting the results you're looking for. And the other keys are to keep in mind that most people quit and most people don't follow up. So as long as you're having the right mindset and teaching and sharing, and then not giving up and really following up, not in a hard salesy kind of way, but in a building relationships and helping people when they're ready and really listening for needs, is going to be the ways to set yourself up for success and build a large customer base and wellness advocate base or distributor base, and that's going to be key. And when it comes to the difference between doTERRA or Young Living, the key thing to remember is that it all depends on the know, like, and trust factor, and if the response time is there as well. And so other videos that I have, as I mentioned, are going to have a lot of that information, and all that will be in the description below. So just make sure to check all that information out down below so you can really make the most educated decision with regards to your business or starting a business. Until then, hey, make sure to hit the like button if you got some value out of today's video, and hit the share button as well if there's somebody that you know that may benefit from this information. And if you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button while you're down there too to catch more video updates like this.